just finished watching the new Smallville episode, Upgrade, which sees the return of John Corbin, aka Metallo. Wow. Okay. There were some weird points in this episode, but really, overall, it was a brilliant episode. Interactions between Lois and John Corbin, Clark and Chloe, as well as Clark and Zod, and also Tess and Chloe as well. And yeah, it really does get interesting. I have to say that this particular episode reminded me of a certain comic book that I purchased recently. I say recently, it was about a few months ago, and it was titled, it's Superman Batman, and it's called The Search for Kryptonite. Some of my subscribers might remember this because I gave a hardcover copy away as a prize, and the reason why it reminded me of that was because Clark eventually found out about Chloe's hidden Kryptonian underground arsenal that she had potted around in America. And if you've read The Search for Kryptonite, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But in Upgrade, it was just Clark was exposed to red kryptonite. It's quite an interesting way how he was exposed to it as well. And so you have to see how he was exposed, and he basically goes off to Watchtower and starts searching for all these other Kryptonian sort of weapons base, as it were. And because what happens at the beginning is Lois uncovers a secret lab where John Corbin was being experimented on with a new kryptonite heart, which is actually red kryptonite as opposed to green kryptonite. So yeah, he was being experimented on yet again, and it really does. This episode sort of opened your eyes a bit more in terms of what Zod was really up to, and also what Tess is now up to. She certainly changed her tune since Checkmate, that's for sure. So she's definitely become something different. Chloe, wow, Chloe is just getting worse and worse. In all honesty, Clark pretty much takes out his anger on Chloe, and it was just not a pretty sight. But let's just say Chloe did deserve it. So yeah, as I was going back before, because Clark exposed the underground kryptonite bases, that's when Chloe confessed that it was her and not Tess who had got those bases set up. And Clark eventually tracks down Metallo, but he's not the only one who tracks him down. Zod does as well. And that starts the interesting sort of team up, as it were, with Clark and Zod, teaming up together. But clearly we know that Zod had a hidden agenda in some sense. What we found interesting was in this episode, Corbin becomes the hero, and it's quite interesting to see how that unfolds. You have to actually watch it to really understand it, because I can't really explain it that much, but you have to watch how he becomes the hero in this episode. It's the manner in which he saves Clark. It's not the fact that he saves Clark, but it's the manner in which he does it. And kind of, if you take your memory back, take your mind back to the second episode of the season, which was Metallo, and it kind of, you almost forget that episode, but you then sort of have to remember why that episode happened, and then you're looking at this one again and thinking, okay, well, that's what happened back then, this is what's happening now. As I say, you have to watch it to really understand it. There's so many other things I could pick out from it. As I say, there was Tess and Chloe. Chloe, oh yeah, Chloe's definitely being bad. No, but Tess as well. She had a very stern conversation with Zod, and I mean a stern conversation in the sense that she basically, you know, said to Zod, look, if you're planning on doing something, here's what you need to know, kind of thing. And she's pretty much, I think she's got Zod right under her thumb. She's got him right where she wants him. He doesn't know that. As far as he's concerned, he's still got his own agenda, and you see it at the very end of the episode as well, what his agenda becomes, because oh my god, it changes everything. And then there was a moment between Lois and John Corbin. Yeah, all I'm going to say is for all us Clois fans, don't worry about it. It's not going to happen. But for a brief moment, yeah, there was something there. There was something. But I think for now, all I can say is, again, a brilliant episode. The only downside for me was that there wasn't really much more of a, how should I put it, a fight, as it were, between, involving Clark, Zod and Metallo, between the three of them. I have one question though. I have to ask this. When did Clark get freeze breath? Because he uses it in this episode, and I'm trying to remember when that actually came about, because obviously we've seen him develop all these other powers, and the last power that we saw him develop was to blow, as it were. But when did the freeze breath come in? Because there was no explanation or anything, so I'd like that explained, please. How did the freeze breath come about? So yeah, because it was used in this episode twice as well, by the way. So yes, wow. So that's it. I'm gonna get some clips together, hopefully upload some clips later on, and we shall see you all next week. As we know, I think next week's episode is it Hostage or Sacrifice? It's one of the two. Yeah, I think it is. No. Oh, you know what? I think it's Charade. Yes, because Maxwell Lord comes to town. Yeah, I believe it is. So look out for that, and I'll speak to you all later. Bye.